Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's very rare that we get an entire product line into the studio to look at together, but we have that right now with the Dell XPS line. So we have the Dell XPS 13 from last year. I've spent a lot of time with this little laptop. We have this year's XPS 15, and we also have this year's XPS 12, which is a 2-in-1 detachable. Now, I should mention in the interest of full disclosure that this video is not being paid for by Dell. However, they have provided hardware to the channel in the past, including this XPS 15 and this XPS 13. I use these within our production workflow behind the camera and sometimes in front of the camera for different things that we're testing here on the channel, but they are not paying for anything else that you're about to see in this video. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and they are not controlling the editorial content of this video either, so I will be the only one who sees this before it is posted. I always make these disclaimers at the beginning of every video so you know what my relationships are, and it's something that I think all YouTubers need to be doing here on the platform. So I wanted to just do a comparison of these and kind of talk about the differences between premium laptops and budget laptops. And the 15 here is a great example because you can configure this with a quad-core i5 processor and get a GTX 960M graphics processor built into it, and then you can spend half the price and get the Dell Inspiron 7000 that will perform identically to this one with the same configuration or better in some cases, because the $800 laptop has a extra 2 gigabytes of video memory on it also. So that lends the question, like, why would you buy something so expensive if you can get the same performance for less money? And really what it comes down to is build quality. This is certainly built with nicer materials. Both the 15 and the 13 have aluminum outer shells, and they've got this carbon fiber with a nice grippy coating painted over it that's very nice to hold, and they're very lightweight, and they've got very thin bezels and everything. In the case of the 12 here, you've got a magnesium-based device here, so again, very lightweight and portable. The other 15, the 7000, is much heavier, gets less battery life, doesn't look as nice perhaps, and I think those are some of the differences that for some folks are very important, because you can certainly get the same size laptop here, at least insofar as its screen is concerned, in a much smaller and thinner footprint that is less heavy to carry around. So this one actually weighs about a pound or two less than the 7000 series. So you're paying more, but you're getting better battery life and, again, better overall industrial design. But if you don't need the industrial design and just want something that is a high-performing laptop and you're aware of some of the battery limitations perhaps of that less expensive device, then go for it, because you will get the same performance, and you might be able to buy two for what you pay for one of these. And where that premium investment really makes a difference is on the 13-inch version. They've done a very nice job cramming a lot of laptop into a very small footprint. So you can see, if you're curious how the 13 stacks up against the 15, look how small this thing is compared to it. And what's really interesting is that the 12-inch display is actually about the same size as the 13-inch display, because its bezels are larger. So you can see the bezel here is that big versus the bezels on the 13 here. So if you want something thin, light, and portable, I actually prefer the 13, because the 12 feels actually a little bit heavier with the this keyboard dock attached to it. They have another dock that's a little bit lighter, and I just don't like these detachables, especially ones that come apart so easily. So this one really feels like a better portable machine to carry around with you. This has the same footprint as the MacBook Air 11, so you get a little bit more screen real estate. If you go with the Quad HD display, you get better resolution than the MacBook Air 11, and you can probably get in around the same price as that Mac also. So really nice design, very lightweight. I do recommend, though, getting the 1080p version, which will give you a little bit more battery life. Now, this is the old edition of it. The new one that came out this year looks the same as this one does, but they added USB Type-C along with Thunderbolt 3 on that port as well. So you can, I think you can actually eventually hook up an external GPU to this. There's no NVIDIA GPU option on this one, so you're going to use the Intel graphics only, but you do have an i7 available on this little laptop here. And by comparison, the tablet has a Core M processor, which isn't too shabby in performance, but not nearly as fast as the new Skylake chips that are powering these other two here. So I think you'll get better performance, the same kind of portability out of the 13. If the detachability is really that important to you, go with it, but I think you'll be much happier with this one, especially because it works really well as a full performance Windows laptop. And I definitely suggest checking out my full review of each of these, because this again will become the capstone on the playlist for all of them. We also interviewed the product lead last year for the XPS 13, Donnie Oliphant, and he was very open about what Dell is doing with their hardware design, especially at the premium level of their product line. And I think it's really been interesting interesting to watch what Dell has been doing, because the company recently went from being a public company to being a private company again. So they don't have to answer to shareholders like some of their competitors do. So we're seeing some different things out of them. And this is a really nice machine from Dell, who for a long time was making a lot of commodity hardware. Now they're getting back into making some premium stuff. And I've been using this for the last year or so. I really like this, especially for its portability, its performance, and its overall design. And I am definitely recommending these to folks when I'm asked if there's a really nice premium laptop out there. We're going to be spending more time with the 15 over the next couple of months, but so far I've been very impressed with it as well. It's nice having that GPU built in with a relatively lightweight machine as well. This really does line up favorably with the MacBook Pro 15 that I use all the time for editing video here on the channel. My big gripe with these, though, is where they put the webcams. Because of the overall lack of bezels on these, the webcams on the two laptops go down here. The 12-inch has a camera in the spot you'd normally expect it to be in, but that is really the only sacrifice they made here on the overall design. So that is the XPS line of laptops. You can check out my full reviews linked above and down below in the video description if you want to get more detail on each. This is Lon.TV, and thanks for watching. This channel is brought to you by my Patreon supporters, including gold level supporter Shabib. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.